Sorry to break it to you, but helping busy moms get healthy is not a niche. Hi everyone, I'm Amy from rebelnutrition.com, and I help health coaches and nutritionists create profitable online courses and online businesses so that they can reach more people with less effort and work from wherever they are in the world. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're an OG, I'm so glad to have you back. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about my 6-step process for finally finding your niche within the wellness and nutrition world online so that your business can finally stand out and you can start making a profit. And be sure to stay until step number 6 because I guarantee this is the exact thing that you need to finally decide on your niche and take action in your online business. Now, if you clicked on this video, you've probably watched various other niche trainings and been trying to find your niche for a while now. Now, a lot of the normal find your niche tips that you've probably read about before are things like, combining your passion with your credentials and your skills and finding, a fusion of all of those. And while I do think that is good information, I think we all kind of know that, right? That's really obvious, but for some reason, it still doesn't click for a lot of people, and I think still we struggle with niching down as much as we need to in order to be profitable and stand out online. Usually the result of following that sort of information, it can help you get a little bit of clarity, but it still can leave you with your niche statement being kind of boring and vague and not specific enough. So that's what this video is going to help you figure out. And I'm going to go through my 6-step process for finding your niche in just a second. But the first thing that I want to remind you about as I go through these 6 steps is to really go inward. And what I mean by that is a lot of times the niche that we end up choosing that we are actually passionate enough about to create an entire business around and for that business to be sustainable for years and years and years, usually that niche topic is related to something that we have personally gone through ourselves. So looking at your niche from this angle and kind of going inward rather than, going out and searching everywhere else to find the answers, because you have all of the answers you need within you, it can make it so much easier to actually decide on and find your niche. So instead of having to, create an ideal client avatar and just pull these ideas out of thin air, you go inward and think about who you were, a couple years ago before you got to the solution that you've achieved now. You can think back to your own story and really create resources for that person, for that version of you that would have made your life so much easier. Okay, so now that we've covered that, let's go through the 6-step process for finding your niche so that your business can finally stand out in the world of nutrition and wellness online. Now, you guys might want to get some notes ready for this so you can jot down ideas as I'm talking through this. But step number 1 for finding your niche is to think about a personal hurdle or problem that you've overcome. So this is kind of what I was just talking about. But you really want to pinpoint one super specific thing that caused you the most angst. So if you're in the wellness world, let's say maybe you struggled with digestive issues and adrenal fatigue, but really the one thing, let's say, this is just an example, let's say the one thing that caused you the most physical and emotional pain was your painful cystic acne. So really try and pinpoint the one specific thing that you struggled with the most. So yes, you obviously do want to be passionate about the topic that you choose, but you also want to be really knowledgeable about it. And this can mean having a certification related to it or not. And don't get me wrong, certifications and degrees related to your niche topic are great. Obviously, that's a great bonus. But I truly believe that the most knowledgeable people about certain topics have actually gone through that problem or gone through something similar themselves and found a way out of it. So if you're in the nutrition and wellness world, you probably know a lot about all different types of body systems and organs, but if you specifically had digestive problems your entire life, you're probably most knowledgeable about that area because you went through it yourself, right? Now, on the other hand, you want to be really knowledgeable about the niche topic that you choose, obviously, but I want you to be aware of not letting imposter syndrome get in the way here. So if you've thought of the niche topic or the problem that you want to focus on right now, but you're thinking to yourself, well, there's somebody else out there who's already talking about this topic. Don't get in your own head here. Just because somebody else is already talking about it doesn't mean that you can't. You truly do not need to be the best in the world or the world's greatest expert on a topic to help people. You just need to be a few steps ahead of where your ideal audience is right now. Okay, so hopefully by now you've identified one specific problem. Write that down, and if you don't have that yet, just pause this video until you have it. And next up, step number 2 for finding your niche is thinking about who you were when you were experiencing that problem. So even though things like location, sex, age, things like that are relevant, the more important thing to think about when you're thinking about like who you were back then is what you were feeling. So what were the exact feelings that were going through your mind? What kinds of things were keeping you up at night and you were literally like staying up late Googling the answers to? What were you going down the internet rabbit hole to like find solutions to, or to find other people who had experienced the same thing? What outcome did you desire more than anything? So what was the solution that you were looking for? Another way to think of this is, what were you wasting time? What were you wasting money? What were you wasting energy on during this time? And what would you have actually been happy to pay for a solution to? So going back to my cystic acne example, I know that because I've personally struggled with that, when I was going through that, I honestly was like, somebody give me a solution. I'm happy to give you my money if you can help me figure out how to get rid of these painful zits that are on my chin. So again, you really want to think back to who you were and the exact thoughts that were going through your mind and what you were typing into Google to search for. So this is where I really recommend people try and not be too clever when they're thinking of what their niche statement is, because likely you weren't typing into Google, how to regain my healthy. That's a niche that I've heard before, or how to become a fitpreneur or something like that. That's probably not something that you were typing into Google. So just try and think of like the exact questions and things that were going through your mind. All right, so now you hopefully have the specific problem and details about a specific person, aka you, at the time that you were experiencing this problem. And step number 3 for finding your niche is pinpointing what your desired outcome was to the problem in step number 1. And even if the outcome of your problem in step number 1 isn't completely healed yet, so even going back to the cystic acne example, even if your acne isn't completely healed, that's okay as long as you've made progress. So for step number 3, you really want to think about the exact specific outcome of the problem that you decided upon in number 1. So not how you got to the outcome, but the actual outcome. So maybe your how for getting clear skin was, eating vegan and taking certain supplements. That's great, and that of course can be part of, what you teach clients or what you put in your online course, etc. But that's actually not your niche. So if your problem from step 1 was cystic acne, then your solution could be something like clear acne-free skin. So again, try and pinpoint one specific outcome. And even if there might be other additional benefits to getting clear skin, so let's say like you might also heal your digestion, you might also heal your adrenals or get better energy. Those things are great, but you want to really focus on the one specific outcome, the desired outcome of that person that you were back then. Okay, so now that you have steps 1 through 3 down, step number 4 for finding your niche is to figure out if there is an actual market for your niche. And this is important because once you've chosen a niche, you want to make sure that it's going to be profitable and there are actually people out there who are willing to pay you for your services related to your niche, right? So in order to figure this out, you're going to want to check out the Google Keyword Planner. So this is a free tool that allows you to type in keywords related to your niche and figure out how many people all over the world at any given time have been searching for those keywords. So it can give you some really good insight into like how many people are actually searching for this term that you're using. And little side note here, when I first learned about Google Keyword Planner, it was really hard for me to understand how to actually use it. So I'm going to insert a screenshot right here that outlines like the steps of how to actually get to the place inside Google Keyword Planner where you can type in your keywords. Okay, so the easiest thing to do is just to type in Google Keyword Planner and go down to this link because these are some ads right here. So you'll click Keyword Planner. And I think the reason why this is confusing is that you actually have to go into your Google Ads account, but don't worry, even if you aren't planning on ever paying for ads, you can just make an account and not pay for anything. You'll just keep it free. And then you can either click Start Now or Sign In. It's super simple to create an account. And once you're in your account, this is then how you get to the Keyword Planner. So you're going to go up here to Tools and Settings, go to Keyword Planner right here. And right here, this is where you can start to put in your potential keywords and see how they're ranking. So for example, for this video, I did find your niche. And then you can put in as many as you want here and they'll kind of compare them. So find your niche, niche, marketing, and let's just see what comes up there. So here you can see the two things I searched come up. So Find Your Niche has about 1,000 monthly searches, and Niche Marketing has almost 10,000 monthly searches. So that's a little bit better than I would have expected. So I'll probably try and use both of these keywords or phrases in my video. And there's a couple different columns that you want to look at. So for search volume, you want to stick to keywords that have around 1,000 to 10,000 searches per month. So any less than 1,000 searches means that there's probably not a lot of people who are searching for these keywords. And any more than 10,000 means that you will probably get lost among the masses who are already talking about that. So 1 to 10,000 is a good place to stay for search volume. And then for competition, you actually want to go with low to medium competition. So competition is actually telling you how competitive your niche or your keywords are when it comes to paid ads. So you might think, well, that doesn't really apply to me because I'm not paying for ads yet. But it can still give you some insight into what the competition is like for your niche. Now next, this one isn't as important, but you can also look at bid. And what this really tells you, if the keywords that you've put in have a higher bid, this actually means that people are willing to actually spend more money to advertise for those keywords related to your niche. So again, even if you aren't paying for ads yet, this can tell you that if people are willing to spend a lot for ads related to this topic, it's probably because they know there's a return on their investment. They're gonna actually make a lot of money by advertising these specific keywords or this specific niche. So if your keyword actually has a higher bid, this can be a good thing. Okay, so step number 5 is actually to test your niche with your current audience. And this is something that I really recommend doing with your niche, or even if you're creating an online course and you have an idea for a topic and you want to kind of test it out with your audience before you start making it. What I really recommend doing is, even if your website isn't done, you can create a simple landing page. I personally love Squarespace, and I teach exactly how to do this inside my Digital Nomad Nutritionist course, but it's really simple. And you can send traffic, so sending people, from Instagram, let's say, to your landing page and offering people some sort of digital info product related to your topic. So that could be even just an informative PDF, maybe a video series that you've made, audio, an ebook, something like that. So you're sending people to the landing page, they can enter their email address and get that digital info sent to them automatically. Now, the point of doing this is to see how many people sign up and how many people are actually interested. So you want to look at the analytics and see how many conversions you are getting. So a good conversion rate, and by conversion I just mean, let's say if you're getting 100 people that you're sending to this landing page, you want to have at least a conversion rate of 30%, so at least 30 of those people signing up to get your free resource. And 30% would be on the low end of what you would want to see. I'd say an average is anywhere from 30 to 50% opt-in rate for your free lead magnet, PDF, training, whatever you want to call it. But again, just make sure the topic of whatever this free resource is that you're offering to people, make sure that it's super, super specific so that you can get really good insight into how many people actually want information on this topic. Okay, now one more quick thing before I get into step number 6, which is the most important thing you need to know about finding your niche. And this is to remember that just because you choose a niche and it feels really specific to you, doesn't mean that you're pigeonholed into that niche forever. You can always change your mind if you decide it's not working for you. You can always pivot if you decide something else is more aligned with you. But really the point of niching down is to get you so specific that you're almost creating a new section of the internet nutrition wellness world that you dominate. Because if there are already multiple people who are doing the exact same thing as you, it's going to be a lot harder to stand out. So by getting more specific, people know what to come to you for. You're much more likely to be a referral from other people because they know, oh, this is exactly what this person does and this is what she can help you with. So it's just really important. And also don't be afraid of turning people away if you're like, oh, I don't want to niche down and be that specific, because what if somebody is turned off by what I'm talking about? That's actually a good thing. If people are turned off, it means that the equal amount of people are turned on by what you're talking about. I feel like there's an inappropriate joke there, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay, so step number 6 for finding your niche so that you can really stand out as a nutritionist or health coach online is to give yourself 48 hours to really think through what I've just talked about, answer all of those questions, think on it, meditate, do what you gotta do to see if you feel aligned and decide on a niche that feels good for you. But then after those 24 to 48 hours have gone by and you still haven't decided on a niche, I am granting you permission, here you go, to start taking action anyways, even if you aren't 100% sure that you've found the perfect niche. Analysis paralysis is real, you guys, and it's probably preventing you from taking action in your business. It's probably preventing you from creating content. It's probably preventing you from putting yourself out there and really taking action in your business and ultimately making sales. So just to give you a personal example, when I first started my business, I was literally blogging about everything. I did not have a specific niche at all, but it was truly through just taking action that I was able to gain clarity on, number one, things that I really enjoyed talking about and helping people with, and number two, what my audience was actually responding to and what they wanted more of. So again, just start. A lot of times clarity comes through action. And by taking action, you'll realize, oh my gosh, I love talking about this one topic and everybody's responding to it. This is so great. Now I have my clarity. Okay, so now that you hopefully have a pretty specific niche to work with, if you still want more help, if you still want to workshop your ideas, I actually created an absolutely free training that I'm calling the last niche masterclass you will ever need. So I'm gonna be talking about some examples of really good, profitable niches and some examples of really vague and basic niches that I see a lot of people using and how to really workshop those to make them more profitable. So I will link in the description box below to that free training. It's about 45 minutes long, and this free training is really for you if you are so tired of trying to figure out your niche and you're going back and forth and it's preventing you from taking action. This is truly the last niche masterclass you will ever need, I promise, because I really want you to start taking action and start making money in your business like yesterday. And I had so much fun creating this training because I'm talking about the exact 3-step niche finding formula that has now helped over 1,500 of my students create profitable niches in the nutrition and wellness space. I'm also providing you guys a customizable fill-in-the-blank niche template to follow if you're somebody who really likes order. I'm gonna be talking about common examples of niche mistakes and how to fix them, and also the number one mistake that I see people making when it comes to their niche. So I would love to have you guys there. Again, I'm gonna link to that masterclass below. It's totally free. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you love this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the red subscribe button, and ding that little bell next to the red subscribe button so you get notified every time I make a new video. And I will be back soon with the next video. Bye.